Good afternoon, boys and girls. We're going to go ahead and continue with Magic Treehouse Series number 1, Dinosaurs Before Dark. We are on Chapter 3, Where is Here? Jack looked out the window. He looked down at the picture in the book. He looked back out the window. The world outside and the world in the picture, they were exactly the same. The pteranodon was soaring over the sky. The ground was covered with ferns and the tall grass. There was a wind stream, a sloping hill, and volcanoes in the distance. Where are we? Stammered Jack. The pteranodon glided down the base of their tree. The creature coasted to a stop and stood very still. What happened to us? Said Annie. She looked at Jack. He looked at her. I don't know, said Jack. I was looking in the picture in the book, and you said, wow, I wish I could see a real pteranodon, said Annie. And then we saw one in Frog Creek Woods, said Jack. Yeah, and then the wind got loud and the tree house started spinning, said Annie. And we landed here, said Jack. And we landed here, said Annie. So that means, said Jack. So that means, what? Said Annie. Nothing, said Jack. He shook his head. None of this can be real. Annie looked out the window again. But he is real, she said. He's very real. Jack looked out the window with her. The pteranodon was standing at the base of the oak tree, like a guard. His giant wings were spread out on either side of him. Hi, Annie shouted. Shh, said Jack. We're not supposed to be here. But where is here? Said Annie. I don't know, said Jack. Hi, Annie called again to the creature. The pteranodon looked up at them. Where is here? Annie called down. You're nuts. He can talk, said Jack. But maybe the book can tell us. Jack looked down at the book. He read the words under the picture. This flying reptile lived in the Cretaceous period. It vanished 65 million years ago. No, impossible. They couldn't have landed in a time 65 million years ago. Jack, said Annie, he's nice. Nice? Yeah, I can tell. Let's go down and talk to him. Talk to him? Annie started down the rope ladder. Hey, shouted Jack, but Annie kept going. Are you crazy? Called Jack. Annie dropped to the ground and stepped boldly up to the ancient creature. And that is the end of Chapter 3, my friends. We will continue with Chapter 4, Henry. Welcome back, my friends, to Chapter 4 in the Magic Treehouse series. Henry. Jack gasped as Annie held out her hand. Oh, brother. She was always trying to make friends with animals, but this was going too far. Don't get too close to him, Annie, Jack shouted. But Annie touched the pteranodon's crest. She stroked his neck. She was talking to him. What in the world is she saying? Jack took a deep breath. Okay, he would go down too. It would be good to examine the creature. Take notes like a scientist. Jack started down the rope ladder. When he got to the ground, Jack was only a few feet away from the creature. The creature stared at Jack. His eyes were bright and alert. He's soft, Jack, Annie said. He feels like Henry. Jack snorted. He's no dog, Annie. Feel him, Jack, said Annie. Jack didn't move. Don't think, Jack. Just do it. Jack stepped forward. He put his arm very cautiously. He brushed his hand down the creature's neck. Interesting. A thin layer of fuzz covered the pteranodon's skin. Soft, huh? Said Annie. Jack reached into his backpack and pulled out a pencil and a notebook. He wrote, Fuzzy Skin. What are you doing? Asked Annie. Taking notes, said Jack. We're probably the first people in the whole world to ever see a real live pteranodon. Jack looked at the pteranodon again. The creature had a bony crest on top of his head. The crest was longer than Jack's arm. I wonder how smart he is, said Jack. Very smart, said Annie. Don't count on it, said Jack. His brain's probably no bigger than a bean. No, he's very smart. I can feel it, said Annie. I'm going to call him Henry. Jack wrote in his notebook, small brain, ? Jack looked at the creature again. Maybe he's a mutant, he said. The creature tilted his head. Annie laughed. He's no mutant, Jack. Well, what's he doing here then? Where is this place? Said Jack. Annie leaned closer to the pteranodon. Do you know where we are, Henry? She asked softly. The creature's fixed eyes on Annie. His long jaws were opening and closing like a giant pair of scissors. Are you trying to talk to me, Henry? Asked Annie. Forget it, Annie, Jack wrote in his notebook. A mouth like scissors. Did we come a long time ago? Asked Henry. Is this place from a long time ago? Suddenly she gasped. Jack! He looked up. Annie was pointing towards the hill. On top stood a huge dinosaur. And that is the end of chapter 4, friends. The next chapter is called Gold in the Grass. Stay tuned. What's going to happen next? I wonder. Chapter 5, Gold in the Grass. Go, go, said Jack. He threw his notebook in his pack. He pushed Annie toward the rope ladder. Bye, Henry, she said. Go, said Jack. He gave Annie a big push. Quit it, she said. But he started up the ladder. Jack scrambled after her. They tumbled into the treehouse. They were panting as they looked down at the window out at the dinosaur. He was standing on the hilltop eating flowers off a tree. Oh, man, whispered Jack. We're in a long time ago. The dinosaur looked like a huge rhinoceros, only he had 3 horns instead of 1, 2 long ones above his eyes and 1 on his nose. He had a big shield thing behind his head. Oh, Triceratops, said Jack. Does he eat people? Whispered Annie. I'll look it up. Jack grabbed the dinosaur book. He flipped through the pages. There, he said. He pointed to the picture of the Triceratops. He read the caption. The Triceratops lived in the late Cretaceous period. This plant-eating dinosaur weighed over 12,000 pounds. Jack slammed the book shut. Just plants, no meat. Let's go see him, said Annie. Are you nuts? Said Jack. Don't you want to take notes about him? Asked Annie. We're probably the first people in the whole world ever to see a real live Triceratops. Jack sighed. She was right. Let's go, he said. He shoved the dinosaur book back into his pack. He slung it over his shoulder and started down the ladder. On the way down, Jack stopped. He called up to Annie. Just promise you won't pet him. I promise. Promise you won't kiss him. I promise. Promise you won't talk to him. I promise. Promise you won't. Go, go, she said. Jack went. Annie followed. When they stepped off the ladder, the pteranodon gave them a kind look. Annie blew him a kiss. Be back soon, Henry, she said cheerfully. Shh, said Jack. He led the way through the ferns, slowly and carefully. Jack slipped his notebook out of his pack. He wrote, Eats flowers. Annie nudged him. Jack ignored her. He studied the Triceratops again. He wrote, Eats slowly. Annie nudged him hard. Jack looked at her. Annie pointed to herself. She walked her fingers through the air. She pointed to the dinosaur. She smiled. Was she teasing? She waved at Jack. Jack started to grab her. She laughed and jumped away. She fell into the grass in full view of the Triceratops. Get back, Jack whispered. Too late. The big dinosaur had spotted Annie. He gazed at her down from the hilltop. Half a magnolia flower was sticking out of his mouth. Oops, said Annie. Get back, shouted Jack. He looks nice, Jack. Nice? Watch out for his horns, Annie. No, he's nice, Jack. Nice. But the Triceratops just gazed calmly down at Annie. He turned and lopped away down the side of the hill. Bye, said Annie. She turned back to Jack. See? Jack grunted, but he wrote in his notebook. Nice. Come on, let's look around some more, said Annie. As Jack started after Annie, he saw something glittering in the tall grass. He reached out and picked it up. A medallion, a gold medallion. A letter was engraved on the medallion, a fancy M. Oh, man, someone came here before us, Jack said softly. And that, my friends, is the end of Chapter 5. Stay tuned for Chapter 6, Dinosaur Valley. What is going to happen with Jack and Annie in the long, long time ago. And what is that medallion with the M on it? Let's find out.